Other binding tricks. I never attach bindings end to end because it causes too much bulk across the binding. I always attach on a 45-degree angle, which is easy to do if you use the seam tape on your sewing machine. You don't have to mark it. And you always attach a machine binding to the back of the quilt, and then you flip it over and sew it down on the front of the quilt. I always press my binding in half. Some people don't even do that, but I like that crisp edge on there when I'm getting ready to stitch it down on the front side. The seam gets to be very even if you have a nice crisp edge. And if at all possible, it's best to use bias binding if you know how to make bias binding, especially when you're doing machine binding, because it has stretch and give to it, which helps the quilt drape better. Another thing you want to try to do is don't pull on your binding or pull on your quilt while you're stitching it down. Let it lay soft and natural. Some people say they get wrinkles in it if they put a binding on that's been pressed in half. Well, the reason is that they're pulling or stretching. And if you want to preserve your machine, you never, no matter what you're doing, and particularly if you're not using a walking foot and trying to do a binding with it, you do not want to pull from behind your machine because that's a good way to knock your machine out of timing.